Algebra 2 Cram, New York State, Algebra 2 Regents, Common Core, Radicals, Question 6, Rationalize the Denominator, Conjugates. Inbox me at memedicine@gmail.com to order your complete Cram session. Review Question 6, Rationalize the Denominator. The expression 12 over 3 plus radical 3 is equivalent to 1, 12 minus radical 3, 2, 6 minus 2 radical 3, 3, 4 minus 2 radical 3, or 4, 2 plus radical 3. Definitely press pause if you need to, and I'll give you a moment to think. Binomials of the form a plus b, which is what we have here, and a minus b are conjugates of each other, meaning the addition and subtraction operations separating the two monomial terms are different, or inverses, okay? And the nice thing about conjugates is that multiplying them results in a difference of squares. Okay, and this is useful for rationalizing radical expressions because the index of a radical root is going to be 2, so squaring it will just literally undo the radical and give the radicand underneath the radical as the final result. And this expression is considered not simplified because there's a radical in the denominator. Because the denominator here has two terms again, we can multiply by its conjugate to rationalize it. And when I say rationalize, we want to have an integer in the denominator instead of a radical. And you might look at numbers such as these that are not written over a denominator and say, hey, it's just a one-line expression, it's not a fraction, but every expression has an implicit 1, which is an integer written beneath it, so technically these are rational fractions, okay? But technically, we're not getting that deep. So here goes our expression, and as I previously mentioned, we're going to multiply this denominator by its conjugate to rationalize it. But to maintain the fraction value, we have to multiply the numerator by the conjugate as well. And so what we can do now basically is apply the distributive property or FOIL in the denominator, or because we know that these are conjugates of each other, we could alternatively just square the first term, square the second term, and then subtract them. But I'm going to illustrate the FOIL method for those people who aren't as privy to just jumping to this. Okay. So this is going to yield 12 times 3 minus radical 3. This is the long version if you were to FOIL or apply the distributive property, FOIL being short for first, outside, inside multiplication, and last multiplication of the last terms. Okay, and this is what you get. And you see that the two radical terms cancel. Okay, so this cancels with this. All right. Okay, and then so if we're to combine 9 and -3, or 9 minus 3, we're going to get 6 in the denominator. But we also realize that the 6 can cancel with 12, and 6 factors into 6 one time, factors into 12 twice. So we end up with 2, 3 minus radical 3, and if we distribute the 2, we wind up with a final answer of 6 minus 2 radical 3, and we see that that's answer choice 2. Thanks for tuning in. Good luck studying.